रणे जित्वा दैत्यान् अपहृतशिरस्त्रैः कवचिभिः निवृत्तैः त्रिपुरहर निर्माल्य विमुखैः विशाखेन्द्रोपेन्द्रैः शशिविशद कर्पूरशकला विनीयन्ते मातः स्तव वदन ताम्बूलकबला.
योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं. मूकं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं. यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरं. मातामहौ मातरं च पितरं च पितामहौ मातुलं च गुरूनन्यान् वन्देऽहं ज्ञानसिद्धये. Welcome to the devotees of Folsom Hindu Spiritual Center. Yesterday, in the previous session, we had seen the birth of Parvati from the Kumara Sambhava and Shiva Purana. We shall continue from where we left off. We saw that Parvati was called Parvati as she was a daughter of Himavan, the Parvata Raja, the king of the Parvatas. And she got another name, Uma, because her mother said, Uma, do not go to the forest for penance. Because of that motherly love towards her daughter, even though she knows that her daughter is to attain Shiva and she has to do penance. Because of that motherly tenderness, she forbade her daughter, and that turned out to be another name for her. Umeti matra tapaso nishiddha paschadumakhyam sumukhi jagama, says Kalidasa. So that is how she came to be known as Uma. As a divine birth, she continues to grow, and all the knowledge. So Jagadamba, she is knowledge herself. She is a Swarupini of knowledge. So all the knowledge that has to be learned, they come to her naturally. Kalidasa describes it, Tam Hamsamalaha Sharadiva Ganga Mahaushadhim Naktamivatma Bhasaha Stiropadesha Mupadesha Kale Prabedire Praktana Janma Vidyaha. So Praktana Janma Vidyaha, he says. That knowledge learned in the previous births itself. This is what we call as samskara. When a child is born, it is not just born at that with no past. Whenever any creature is born for that matter, there is some previous samskara. The samskara does not have a literal English translation. We can say some kind of tendencies. We see that some children are born to be very good athletes. Some are born as prodigies in music, some in the field of some intellectual capability like playing chess or mathematics or some other intellectual work. Some might be very good in drawing or music and so on. So these things, they do not come only by practice or by effort. You see, as soon as they are said or put in that, they take to it like fish in water. So that there should be some other cause behind that. It is not. So if all children were born equal, or if all creatures were born equal, then given the same training, they should all come up to the same level. But that has not happened to be so. So given the same training, each one takes it in a different way, and each one goes to a different level with the same amount of learning. So there is some previous samskara that is there, some previous tendency. So we attribute it that in the previous janma, in the previous birth, they have done some kind of sadhana. That is, they have gone through that penance in that particular field. They have been accustomed to it. And therefore, they are able to pick it up very fast. And they start off from where they left off in the previous birth. So that is what we say as Praktana Janma Vidyaha. So how did this knowledge, which is already there in Jagadamba, how did it come to her? Tam Hamsamalaha Sharadiva Ganga. So in the Sharad Ritu means this, you could say autumn that comes right after the monsoon. In India, it is right after the monsoon. The months of around October, November are called Sharad, where all the clouds have dispersed and it is a very clear sky. So the sun peeps out, but it is not very hot also. It's a kind of pleasant weather. So the swans in the Himalayas, they go to the Himalayas when there is monsoon because they do not like the rain. So they go there to the Manasarovar. And they come back to the Ganga in the Sharad Ritu. Once the monsoon has subsided, they come back to the Ganges. All the swans return back to the Ganges. So just like in the autumn weather, when the swans come back to the Ganges, naturally they come back. Hamsa Malaha, all the garlands of swans. So when they fly in the sky, you see they are all form a formation and they beautifully fly back. So like that, Tam Hamsa Malaha Sharadiva Ganga Mahaushadhim Naktamibaptama Bhasaha. The Ramayana we see when Hanuman goes to the Sanjeevani Parvata to get all the herbs to revive Lakshmana and all the other monkeys. He goes there, even though he is not able to find what are the herbs, he sees that everything is glowing in the dark. All the medicinal herbs, they're all glowing. Such was the glow of special herbs. These special medicinal herbs have such a glow. And their glow is seen only at night. Once the sun rises, they lose their glow. And it comes back at night again. So just like the night revives the glow, the natural glow, it is already present in those plants, but it revives only at night. It is not visible in the morning. So Mahaushadhim, that Aushadhi, Naktam means night. Iva Atma Bhasaha, the natural glow that comes to the plants, those herbs at night. Similarly, Sthiropadesham Upadesha Kale, that foundational Upadesha, that foundational knowledge that is there, Upadesha Kale, just as it was being taught or wherever she heard, it immediately came from within her. For Parvati, Prapedire Praktana Janma Vidyaha, just like the swans to Ganga and the glow to the herbs, that knowledge that was previously learned within her, they just shown up. It was like realization. The knowledge just burst and lit her. And that's how she learned, and she kept on growing. And as she was growing, Kalidasa beautifully describes how from child she blossoms into youth. Unmilitam tulikayev chitram suryam shubhi bhinnamiva ravindam babhuva tasyaha chaturasra shobhin vapur vibhaktam navayauvanena unmilitam. So when you draw on a canvas, when you paint on a canvas, slowly it just blossoms. The painting, it does not appear all of a sudden. Nor is it like a geometrical drawing where you put in some lines and scale and you bring out something logically. It is not algorithmic. So that is Unmilitam. So Unmilitam usually refers to the opening of the eyes. So that, but when you use the brush to paint on a canvas, it is like you are opening the eyes of the painting. Beautifully, slowly, it just grows. So that is the painting that Kalidasa is drawing in front of you. Unmilitam tulikayeva chitram. Tulika means with the brush. With the brush, the way the artist opens the painting. Suryam shubhihi bhinnamiva aravindam. Aravindam is a lotus. The lotus blooms whenever the sun rises. As soon as the sun rays fall on it, it blooms. But it is not some hard, it is not like hitting a rock against a wall or a glass or anything of that sort. There is a very soft manner, very beautiful manner that it happens. Just as the sun's rays touch the lotus, it slowly blooms. So there is a very beauty, there is a huge beauty in that blooming. That kind of beauty is how slowly she grows into her youth. Parvati, from her childishness, she is growing into her youth. So these are two similes that he gives. Just like the brush opens up the drawing or the sun opens up the lotus. Similarly, Babhuva Tasyaha Chaturasra Shobhi. Chaturasra means all round. all round that beauty is seen in her. Vapuhu vibhaktam navayauvanena. The youth has entered her just like the beauty entered the drawing and the Suryamshu, the rays entered the lotus. Like that she grows and comes into her youth. And as she keeps growing, once upon a time, Narada comes there. Narada comes to the palace. And she has kind of attained a marriageable age. So he comes to the palace of Himavan, and as we know, he is going all around the three worlds and he knows the news. So he was the news. He is the person who spreads news those days. And he comes to and he sees Parvati, that she is of marriageable age. And by his yogic powers, he is able to see that she is going to be wedded to Parameshwara himself. So he gives this news to Himavan, Parvati's father. Tam Naradaha Kamacharah Kadachit Kanyam Kila Prekshya Pitus Samipe Samadhi Deshaika Vadhum Bhavitrim Premna Sharir Ardhaharam Harasya. Naradaha Kamachara. Kamachara means one who goes anywhere just by his desire. If he thinks he has to go there, he will appear there. So suddenly by fate, he just came one day to this palace. He saw that Parvati was there next to her father. And he gave this news. Samadhi Deshaika Vadhum Bhavitrim. She is going to become the wife of the singular wife. That is a very unique person she is going to become. Why? Premna Sharira Ardhaharam Harasya. Hara, Shiva, she is going to take away half of his body. Why? How is she going to take away? Is it by physical, some forceful means? No. By love, she is going to take away half of his body. Premna Sharira Ardhaharam Harasya. With so much love, he is going to give half his physical body to her, that they are going to become Ardhanarishwara. They are going to become just one single entity, not two different entities. They are going to be a singular entity. Premna Sharir Ardhaharam Harasya. After having heard this news, Himavan became kind of very satisfied. Now he does not have to go in search of a groom. He does not have to take up that effort. Guru Pragalbhepi Vayasya Dosya Tatho Vayasya Dosyaha Tatho Nivrittanyavara Abhilashaha Tastho. So there is Anyavara Abhilashaha. There is no desire for any other groom. He is not going to go in search of a groom at all. Now that he has heard from his friend Narada that she is to be given to Parameshwara. What more is required? Once Parameshwara himself is going to be my son-in-law, I do not need to worry about anything else. Again, Kalidasa with a simile. Kalidasa is called Upama Kalidasasya. Upama means simile. Kalidasa is great with similes. Every shloka, every verse will have some kind of a simile. Without simile, he never completes his verses. That is why Upama Kalidasasya is a very well-known saying in Sanskrit. He gives a simile here. Rite Krishanoho Nahimantraputam Arhanti Tejam Syapara Nihavyam. Rite Krishanoho. Krishanoho means fire is called Krishanu. So in the Indian tradition, not only fire, there are many Tejas. Tejas just not means only fire. Tejas means anything that gives energy. So even sun is Tejas. Even gold is known to be of the Tejas origin. It comes from the subtle fire. So all these are there. But the Agni that we go in, that is there in the Homa Kunda, when we do some Homa, Havana, something Yajna, that is a very special Agni. There is a purity to it. Why? We are giving it some oblations, some offerings, and it is taken to the Devas themselves, to the divine gods. It is taken. That is why the Agni is called Havyavahana. He takes whatever we offer here and gives it to the Devas. So that Krishanuhu, that Agni, which is with mantra, it is there in the Homa, that is a very special Agni. Even though there are other Tejas, there are other Agnis and the Suvarna and everything, except that kind of Agni, we do not pour oblations into everything else. We do not just go into any fire and you do not go into the kitchen fire and pour oblations. You do it only in the Homa Agni. So, Rite Krishanoho Nahi Mantra Putam Arhanti Tejamsi Aparani Havyam. So, other Tejas, they do not require this Havya. You do not put it there. Only Krishanu gets the Havya. Similarly, such is the greatness of Parvati that only Parameshwara is fit to receive her. Nobody else is fit. And even if he was going to go in search of a groom, he is not going to find any person who is fit to wed Parvati. And now that Narada has given the confidence that Parameshwara is going to be a son-in-law, he is happy and satisfied. Himavan is very happy. He does not read anything more. Ayachitaram nahi devadevam adrissutam grahayitum shashaka abhyarthana bhanga bhage na sadhu madhyasthamishtetya balam batirthe. But there is a problem here. He is happy and satisfied that he does not want to go in search of a groom. But there is another problem that Shiva is sitting in tapas. He is just sitting in Kailasa. Since the time that Sati left her body, he has not come out from his samadhi. He is just sitting there in tapas. And he does not seem to be coming towards any material workings at all. There is no mundane activities. So how do I go and offer my Kanya to Parameshwara? He is in tapas. You cannot go to sannyasi and then say, or somebody who is in tapas and say, please take my daughter's hand in offering. And he is not even coming out of it. He is in a different mood altogether. So Ayachitaram, he is not looking to marry now. Ayachitaram nahi devadevam, that Devadeva, Parameshwara himself. Adrihi sutam grahayitum shashaka. He could not give his daughter to him. He could not go and request and say, I will give my daughter's hand in wedding to you. Abhyarthana bhanga bhage na sadhu. Because you do not know what mood Shiva is in. What if he says, I do not want to marry now, I am not going to take your daughter. But Narada has given him confidence that it is going to happen. So he does not want to go and ask and be rejected, nor does he know how long he can be waiting. So he is stuck between a rock and hard place. He cannot ask, nor can he wait. It is already a marriageable age. So he is thinking what to do. So the beautiful word here again, madhyastham ishtepi avalam bhatirthe ishtepi arthe. Even though this desire of his of getting Parvati married to Ishvara is very close to him, even though he has an immense desire and he wants it to happen as soon as possible, he is being madhyastha. He is not going either this side nor that side. Like as if he is walking on the knife's edge, he is just standing there, not going, not asking Shiva, not knowing what to do. Madhyasthamishhtepi avalam bhatirthe. Such is the beauty. So tomorrow we will see how he solves this dilemma and how he goes forward in how Parvati begins her tapas. Namaste sarvebhyaha. Ram Ram Ram. Namah Parvati Pataye Hara Hara Mahadeva.
Mangalacharani Mangalavadani Mangaladayini Kamakshi Guru Guha Janani Guru Kalyanam Kunjara Janani Kamakshi Kashta Nivarani Dushta Vinasini Ishta Vidayini Kamakshi Guru Guha Janani Guru Kalyanam Kunjara Janani Kamakshi Himagiri Tanaye Mama Hridi Nilaye Satchana Sadaye Kamakshi